Shalom, everyone. When I came to Emmanuel in 1970, I was asked to do a program for sisterhood on suggestions for raising teenagers. Myra came to hear the presentation. As she listened, she quickly concluded that this 28-year-old single rabbi didn't know a thing about what he was talking about, and so halfway through the speech, she got up and left. That's how my relationship with Myra began. Fortunately, for me and for Temple Emmanuel, it didn't end there. Since then, as I guess everyone knows, we have become both close friends and valued colleagues. When we began discussing her coming on board, we both vowed that we would never allow our friendship to impinge on our professional relationship or our professional relationship to impinge on our friendship. And I am proud to say that we have both stuck to that vow. On the personal level, she is so close that she is in loco grandparentis, if there's such a phrase, to all three of my children. And on the professional level, I can state quite emphatically that without Myra, my rabbinate would not have been nearly so successful. And Temple Emmanuel would not be the place it is, nor have achieved so many of its successes without her over the past 35 years. So I want to thank Rabbi Disick and the chairs of tonight for allowing me to be the one to present this tribute and put into words what Myra has meant to Congregation Emmanuel. You know, some people are good at seeing the forest, and some are good at seeing the trees. Perhaps Myra's greatest gift to us has been her ability to see both. She can organize and oversee an event down to the smallest detail, and yet never lose sight of what the event is really all about. She sees the way everything is connected. In Myra's eyes, there is no religious school. There is only the Temple Emmanuel religious school. There is no sisterhood, only the Temple Emmanuel sisterhood. And the same for every entity in this congregation, from the executive committee to the maintenance staff. And we have all relied on her. There is no unconnected part of this temple in her eyes. And seeing that all the dots are connected has been clearly one of her greatest gifts to us and why she means so much to us. Well, maybe that's not her greatest gift. Maybe her greatest gift is her wide range of activities and abilities. Let's be honest about Myra. Being in charge is not something she's ever shied away from. So when there's a gap, who have we called on for 35 years to fill that gap? Myra. And both willingly and skillfully, she has stepped in. On at least 3 occasions, we've been without an executive director for some period of time who was asked to step in and fill the position. When a building project required a member of the staff to oversee it, who did we turn to? The examples are endless, but the point is the same. Whatever needed doing, if no one was assigned to it, we called on Myra. And she stepped up to the plate without hesitation, and if I may add, without a complaint that perhaps we were taking advantage of her. Well, then again, maybe that's not her greatest gift either. Maybe her greatest gift is her ability to create innovative and seed-bearing program. Innovative, you know, just look at the bulletin over the past 35 years, and you will see speakers and performances and events that have never been done anywhere else. But the seed-bearing part you may not know. One of the games that Myra and I have played over the years, as we read the bulletins of other temples, is to see how long it took for what we did here to show up elsewhere. Well, it never took long. Her work has borne fruit in more temples than you can imagine, as a creative service or a program or a speaker series done here shows up all over the country in other temples. Well, maybe that's not her greatest gift. Let me tell you what her two greatest gifts were to me as senior rabbi. First is honesty. Neither of us ever hesitated to tell the other what we thought. But when we walked out of a meeting, whether we went her way or mine, there was never another word spoken. It was never about getting her way. She always challenged me, and yet never usurped my authority or challenged my position. Decision made, move on. Second, I realized that in truth, Myra was as much a chief of staff as she was a programming director. As you know, a senior rabbi has multiple tasks. The worst thing that can happen to a senior executive is to have to get bogged down in the details. I didn't. How much of a gift is it that I could sit with her, decide on something however large or small, and know that I didn't have to touch it again until the event. Truly, a gift beyond articulable value. Maybe that wasn't her greatest gift. Maybe her greatest gift was that this is her second home. So Emmanuelites are not just members, we are her family. Taking care of us, preserving and enhancing our shared history has been a major goal of hers. If you are here to worship, she wants you and your worship experience to be spiritual fulfilling. If you are here to mourn, she wants you to be comforted. If you are here to rejoice, she wants you to walk out more joyful because you rejoiced here. If you are here to learn, she wants you to leave not just informed, but moved. If you are here to simply attend a meeting, she wants you to leave knowing that whatever it takes to turn your plans into reality will be done with a minimal amount of effort on your part because she will see that it's done. Her goal has always been to make us and anyone who walks in this building or sees our name in print proud of the name Emmanuel. You know, people often ask me, are we Temple Emmanuel or Congregation Emmanuel? The answer is we are both, even though our official name is Congregation Emmanuel. We are a temple. There's a building here. We are a spiritual space where people come to be moved and touched, where the values that appear on these walls in this sanctuary and the words that are written on the scrolls in the ark are a guide and a challenge. But we are also Congregation Emmanuel. We are individuals with independent needs, but members of a community who share life with each other, who care about each other and work together to respond to the challenges of those words on the walls and in the scrolls in the ark. Because without people, without a congregation, the words on the walls are just wood glued to wood. And without a congregation, the words on the scrolls are just ink on a piece of parchment. It is when we are both that we are what we are and who we are. Perhaps Myra's greatest gift to us is that she's never let us forget that we're both. Ask any assistant rabbi who has graced us with their service, and they will tell you that they learned as much about what a synagogue really is from her as from me and the rest of the temple combined. She has refused to let us forget what we are and who we are. That's what Myra has meant to us. And that's why we're here tonight. Because without her, this would not just be a different place. It would be a lesser place. And like all of you, I am grateful that in 1979, 1 year after I became senior rabbi, and immediately after her serving as sisterhood president during my first year, she accepted the offer to come on board. From me, Myra, from all of us, thank you for being you. Thank you for all you have meant to us because of all you have given to us. We are sitting here, past presidents and executive committee members, B'nai Mitzvah parents, brides, grooms, mourners, rejoices, students, teachers, all of us, beneficiaries of your multi-talented, devoted service to this temple, the one both you and we love so much, and what it is, because in large part of you. And now one last thing. Myra herself would never let an event like this take place without a song. So with apologies to Richard Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein, as well as to all of you with either relative or perfect pitch, I offer the following. Julie? She books the hall, then does it all, so everything is right. I'm doing it slow, Myra. She'll meet with you and plan with you, no matter day or night. And if you have a yard site, you can bet there'll be a light. She always sees that everything is perfect. The coffee's fresh, the meal's on time, there's nothing left to chance. If there's a play, she'll write the words and help us sing and dance. But now her work is done here and it's time to say goodbye. We hope she knows we value all her efforts. But when we think how multiple her tasks, the question we must ask is, how do we run the temple without Myra? How do we see that everything's okay? How do we run the temple without Myra and know the place won't fall flat on its face one day? So many things we know we'd like to tell her, so many things we all appreciate. But what are we gonna do when there's so much to do? How will we keep the temple running great? Oh, how do we run the temple without Myra? How to be sure that everything's first rate? We'll be hiring extra folks, and there won't be time for jokes. Her replacements won't have time to fool around. There is always much to do, and their tasks will not be few. They'll be running from the time they hit the ground. We have never understood how a single person could do so many things and never need to rest. If you needed an idea, you sure know that she would be a place to go and know her plan would be the best. How do we run the temple without Myra? How do we keep the temple on its mark? How do we find the word that captures Myra? A wonderful person, a jack of all trades, a spark. Many a thing, you know, we'd like to tell her. Many a thing she needs to understand. How do we let her know she's always made us glow? How do we let her know that she is grand? Oh, how do we say how much we'll really miss her? Sorry about that. How about applauding? Won't you all please stand.